Exactly. Come out. Oh, yeah. You know, all right. How are you? Oh my God, congratulations. Old and fabulous. Oh no, I guess you have. I have one. Now we have ours. We have that. We will now call the meeting to order. We'll have the city council clerk take the roll. Here. Present.
Singh. Here. Rodriguez.
Here.
Saban.
Here.
Kukrow.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Lester.
Here.
Murphy. Grant. Santana. Miller.
Here.
Denti.
Here.
Espo. Punzo.
Here.
Cola. Edwards. Knightline. Streeter.
Here.
Morrison.
Here.
Walker Myers.
Here.
Hamilton. Marchand.
Here.
Marks.
Here.
Solo.
Here.
Hogan. Wingate. Smith.
We'd like to note for the record that order from Board 24 has joined us. Quorum has been established. We will now have divine guidance by a guest of Ward 29. Can you please come to the podium, please?
Thank you, Madam President. You all may be seated. Holding meeting not here tonight, so I will be giving divine guidance on his behalf. I want to congratulate the older elects and every incumbent who had a race in our most recent election. For the veterans here tonight, thank you. Thank you for doing the work that people don't see. Thank you for showing up early and staying late. We know that this work is more than sidewalks being done over and roads being paved. It's about unity within our city. It's about youth being able to have safe spaces to support growth and endless possibilities for their future. It's about affordable housing and livable wages, and the list goes on. For each city official who is just beginning their journey, thank you for being brave enough to step up and be the change that you wish to see. I pray that God covers each of you in your work and each seat held from Mayor Elliker on down. I pray for strength, strategy, and perseverance. I pray for safety, unity, and supernatural favor covers each city official, that they do their job with a spirit of excellence. I pray that each city official never gets weary in their well-doing. And because we all know that we have to fight for the city that we want to see, as my father would say, when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Oh, okay. Thank you, Madam President. Good evening. I move approval of the Journal of October 20, 2025 Board of Alders meeting.
Second. The item has been moved in second. Discussion, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Mr. Jordan.
Thank you, Madam President. On unanimous consent, I ask you to see item number 1 from the Tax Collector submitting an order concerning tax refunds November 6, 2025.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Mr. Jordan.
I move the item.
Second. The item has been moved in second. Discussion, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Mr. Jordan.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask unanimous consent on item number 2 from the Chief Administrative Officer submitting an order of the Board of Alders of the City of New Haven approving the closure of Whitney Avenue from Grove Street to Trumbull Street on Saturday, February 21, 2026, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. for the 2026 Lunar New Year celebration.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Mr. Jordan.
I move the item.
Second. The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Mr. Jordan.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask unanimous consent on item number 3 from the Chief Administrative Officer submitting an order of the Board of Alders of the City of New Haven approving the closures associated with Christopher Martin's Christmas Run for the Children 5K on Sunday, December 7th, 2025.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority.
I move the item.
Second. The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Mr. Jordan.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask unanimous consent on item number 4 from the Community Services Administrator submitting an order of the Board of Alders of the City of New Haven authorizing the mayor or controller to amend the lease agreement contract number A10-0102 with Christian Community Action Incorporated regarding the property at 124 Sylvan Avenue, New Haven, Connecticut.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority.
I move the item.
Second. The item has been moved and second discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask unanimous consent. Item number 5, from the Chief Technology Officer submitting a resolution to the Board of Alders of the City of New Haven authorizing the Department of Information Technology to accept a grant of $131,000 to support the community Wi-Fi initiative and expand internet access.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority.
I move the item.
Second. The item has been moved and second discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask unanimous consent. Item number 6, for the President of Local 33 Unite Here submitting an order to the Board of Alders for approval to close College Street between Grove Street and Elm Street from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. on November 19, 2025, for a public rally to promote the campaign for securing union representation for Yale's postdoctoral workers with Local 33 Unite Here.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority.
I move the item.
Second. The item has been moved and second discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask unanimous consent. Item 7 through 13. 7, from Alice Foskey submitting an order of the Board of Alders concerning assistance for tax account numbers 893392, 912798, 893392, 930112, and 83873. 8, from Naomi Greco submitting an order of the Board of Alders concerning assistance with tax account numbers 954-844, 70568, 71053, 913639, 913639, 931021, and 70569. 9, from Narla Hemeth Chandra, submitting an order of the Board of Alders concerning assistance with tax account numbers 88031. 10, from Javoni Johnson, submitting an order of the Board of Alders concerning assistance with tax account number 75807. 11, from Michael Ruiz, submitting an order of the Board of Alders concerning assistance with tax account number 97216. 12, from Yolanda L. Taylor, submitting an order of the Board of Alders for assistance concerning taxes for account number 102621. And 13, from Vester R. Williams, submitting an order to the Board of Alders for assistance concerning taxes for account numbers 96141 and 107914.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority.
I move these items.
Second. The items have been moved for discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes.
Thank you, Madam President. On communications, I know items 14 through 42. Under first readings, I know items 43 through 46. Under second readings, I move item 47, city services and environmental policy favorable, A through C. A, resolution of the New Haven Board of Alders authorizing the mayor of the city of New Haven to apply for and accept the Sustainable Materials Management Round 2 grant from Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection to implement curbside co-collection of food scraps using uniform collection bags and to enter into associated agreements in order to accept grant funding and carry out the associated grant program activities. B, resolution of the Board of Alders of the City of New Haven authorizing the mayor to apply for and accept up to $2,289,980 from the FEMA Port Security Grant Program and execute, and if necessary, modify or related documents, contracts, and such instruments as deemed necessary. And C, resolution of the New Haven Board of Alders supporting a transformation resolution to promote a sustainable and healthy New Haven while responding to the climate emergency.
Second. The item has been moved in second discussion. I call on order from Ward 10.
Thank you, Madam President. City Service and Environmental Policy met on Thursday, October 16, 2025, and we would like to favorably recommend these items. Item A, if awarded, which actually we were accepted for this grant, the city will be able to implement a food scrap diversion program. This will allow residents to put their food scraps in special colored bags and throw them away in the toter with their regular household trash. Once they are received at the transfer station, the food scraps will be sorted out to be turned into biogas and rich soil. If widely executed, not only will this be better for the environment, but will save the city hundreds of thousands in waste disposal costs. I encourage my colleagues to vote favorably to support this grant. Item B is, again, we met on October 16, 2025, and we would like to recommend this item as well favorably. If awarded this grant, the city will use the funds to replace and maintain cameras at the port. We applied for a $2.2, almost $2.3 million grant. Unfortunately, we only received about $120,000 to cover the cost for maintaining these cameras at the port. I encourage my colleagues to vote favorably for this item as well. Item C is the Transportation Transformation Resolution, and we worked with the New Haven Climate Movement on this. And again, this was a meeting on Thursday, October 16th, where City Services and Environmental Policy Committee met, and we would like to favorably recommend this item. This resolution submitted by the New Haven Climate Movement encourages the city to remain vigilant and focused on initiatives to respond to the climate emergency by taking a transformative approach to transportation that prioritizes safety, equity, sustainability, and environmental stewardship. I encourage my colleagues to vote favorably to support this grant. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes.
Thank you, Madam President. Under miscellaneous, I move item 48A, motion to discharge from the Chair of the Finance Committee, submitting a motion to discharge the committee from the following item titled Ordinance Amendment of the New Haven Board of Alders to appropriating ordinance number 1 for FY 2024 through 25 pursuant to Article 8 of the City Charter and Section 2-385 to 2-389 of the Code of General Ordinances, approving transfer number 25-999 to eliminate negative line item balances for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2025, submitted on October 6, 2025, for the purpose of granting it a first reading.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
The item has been moved and second. Discussion on the motion to discharge only. I call on order from Board 25.
Thank you, Madam President. On October 22nd, the Finance Committee heard this request, but did not have a quorum present. As a result, the committee could take no action on the item. I request that this body discharge the Finance Committee from consideration of this amendment so that it may move forward in the process. I ask colleagues to approve the motion to discharge for the purpose of granting a first reading. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion on the motion to discharge only? Seeing none, all in favor of giving this item a motion to discharge, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item is discharged. The majority leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Continue under miscellaneous, I move item 48B, motion to discharge from the Chair of the Finance Committee, submitting a motion to discharge from the Finance Committee from the item titled Order to Read and File the Updated Budgetary and Financial Reports for August 2025 in compliance with Article 8, Section 5 of the Charter, submitted on October 6, 2025, and to take it up for immediate action.
Second.
The item has been moved and second. Discussion on the motion to discharge only. I call on order from Board 25.
Thank you, Madam President. On October 22nd, the Finance Committee heard this request, but did not have a quorum present. As a result, the committee could take no action on this item. I request that this body discharge the Finance Committee from consideration of this item and take it up for immediate action tonight. I ask colleagues to approve the motion to discharge. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion on the motion to discharge only? Seeing none, all in favor of giving the item motion to discharge, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item is discharged. The majority.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved and second. Discussion. I call on order from Board 25.
Thank you, Madam President. Just want to note for the record that this is a read and file item. Thank you, Madam President.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of giving this item a read and file, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This item is read and filed. And before a motion to adjourn is approved, I will now take point for the first hearing. I call on order from Ward 22.
Thank you. Thank you. No. Okay, this is my outside voice. So thank you, Madam President. I just want to make an announcement. At the Q House on November 15th, there's going to be the first annual men's conference being held from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The purpose of this conference is to focus on our men and their health and their well-being and their safety. We don't, sometimes we forget our men and we can't. And it's so important that we make sure that they're taken care of. And so I'm telling this board, I'm telling the city, please come out, register to be a part of the men's conference. And it's not just for men. The focus is men, but men, women, teens, you can participate. And you can register at ConnecticutMen'sConference.com. And again, it's an all-day conference. Food will be provided. We have a national speaker that will be there that will really get us motivated around the different areas, like I said, of mental health, nutrition, and safety. So please tell someone, come and bring someone. Thank you. Thank you, Madam President.
I will now call on order from Ward 60.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, colleagues. We want to thank everyone for supporting the Black and Hispanic Gala. To every person that sold and purchased tickets, ads, participated in our raffle, thank you. A special thank you to our staff members and volunteers that are hands-on and make it happen on our behalf. We thank you all. We sold 520 tickets this year, and next year we look forward to doing that and more. Again, we are happy to celebrate people and organizations in our community that continue to make a difference in our city. So looking forward to next year, and let's beat our ticket sales of 520 tickets. Thank you, Madam President.
I will now call on order from Ward 8.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise to wish my election day baby, Hunter Dunn, a happy 6th birthday. Folks might know that he was born the day I got elected to this board. And so when I told him I wasn't running for re-election, his question to me was, "You're retiring from the job you got on my birthday?"
Yeah.
So I love him dearly. Happy birthday, and thank you, and I will forever think of this board when he celebrates his birthday.
I call on order from Ward 15.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to take this opportunity to highlight two events focused on our youth and to encourage support from my colleagues. Firstly, on Friday, November 14th, 2025 at 5:15 p.m. We will have the honor of hosting former WWE wrestler and 18-year world travel performer with Cirque du Soleil, Mr. Sidney Akeem, at the Dixwell Q House. He will engage with lead counselors and senior counselors during their professional development, as well as members of the New Haven Heat Basketball Club. This program is sponsored by the Elm City Wrestling Club, and I warmly invite my colleagues to witness the positive impact of this initiative. And secondly, you'll see a flyer on your desk. Saturday, November 15th, United by One will present United We Stand at the Devonshire Hall located at 109 Champion Street in Camden. Family-friendly wrestling event aims to raise awareness about juvenile diabetes through a variety of creative and engaging activities. And
and I wholeheartedly encourage residents and my esteemed colleagues to participate and help promote this important cause. Thank you, Madam President.
I would like to note for the record that order from Ward 2 has joined us. I will now call on order from Ward 26.
Thank you, Madam President. As so many of us know, 33,000 residents, friends, neighbors of ours did not get food stamp assistance this month. On November 1st, 30 BT cards were empty. Parents, children, disabled people, elderly have just no food. As we're all painfully aware, pantries are empty and fridges are growing more and more bare. There's literally no money on these cards for these low-income individuals who literally depend on it to feed and eat on a daily basis. I think as you all know, President Trump could have access to discretionary money, which he chose not to tap immediately as he was entitled and lawfully allowed to do. A federal court order last Friday ordered that he was required to access money. To date, he has only agreed to access portions of this money, and it's unclear when. So we're now on Tuesday, on what this past weekend, the cards were empty. I think you probably all know, and Madam President, you're aware that Governor Lamont did allocate some money. I think it was $3 million initially. That money went straight to stocking food pantries. EBT cards are still empty. I think you're aware, Madam President, that the legislature is talking now in the state of Connecticut of accessing 300 to 500 million more dollars, but that requires a special session. So pantries and fridges are still empty. In response to this crisis, so many of us have come together out of the goodness of our heart to support our neighbors, to give, to raise awareness and talk about this. So Madam President, I felt it appropriate to talk tonight to call out the issue, to thank individuals such as my colleague Sarah Miller and City Seed. We're going through extraordinary efforts to mobilize and to utilize the resources they have to help SNAP families and people with empty cabinets and pantries. In response, I just wanted Madam President to share some information, which when speaking with colleagues, became aware that not everybody knows about, so we wanted to share out some information. We wanted to share the United Way has launched a program called Neighbors United. We will, Madam President, after the meeting, share through perhaps Mr. Lucas or Blast the information. There is a fairly well-organized landing site for this, and as I shared with some colleagues, if you click on the button that says Apply for Emergency Response Fund, there are literally cash cards going out, and I want to make sure that our constituents and people know about it. The United Way is loading $150 onto cash cards, which can be instantly accessed. So families that were eligible for food stamps and show various agencies. If you're working with an agency, you go and get it from that agency. If not, Community Action Agency is your contact. But if you contact Community Action Agency and make it there, you can get a $150 cash card, which is sadly not enough, but should go farther. In addition, it lists just amazing resources with pantries that have food and hours, places to make financial donations, and places to donate food with hours and contacts. It's a rather extraordinary list of the wealth of resources that reflect just what an amazing and extraordinary community New Haven is. And I thank you, Madam President, for the opportunity to share this information. And I hope that our colleagues can share this information with friends, family, neighbors, but please make sure that people do know that there is $150 available now for these next couple of days as people struggle for just absolute basics. Thank you, Madam President.
And we'll send out more information of other places that have opportunities to, and ways that we can all help out. I will now call on order from Ward 27.
Thank you, Madam President. I stand to recognize, and I'm going to ask for a moment of silence in just a moment, but let me just talk about it for a minute. Stand to recognize our cousin, April Mack Young, cousin of President Walker Myers, cousin of Alder Streeter, and longtime friend of Alder Hamilton. She lived and was loved, and she passed, and now she'll be greatly missed. And I'd also like to recognize a dear friend of mine who passed away from breast cancer, Reverend Clarissa Pearson, and just devastating when we experience these kind of losses. So I'll ask now that the time to stay for a moment of silence. Thank you.
will now call on order from Ward 17.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask my colleagues to please stand. Can we have a moment of silence for former Alder Jody Ortiz's dad, who passed away on Tuesday? Thank you, Madam President.
Are there any more points of personal privilege? I call on order from Ward 10.
Thank you.
I call on order from Ward 10. Sorry.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to put a word out there. Chuck and Eddie's, which we're, I think, all familiar with. Charlie Arcangelo, who opened Chuck and Eddie's, unfortunately, he passed away during COVID, called me every year around this time to offer turkeys to residents. His daughter has continued his legacy, and I'm reaching out to colleagues. If you have any constituents that are in need of a turkey, please let me know. And I'm always so grateful to Chuck and Eddie's for their generosity, especially now during these difficult times. Thank you, Madam President.
I will now call on order from Ward 2.
Thank you, Madam President. Sorry about that. Sorry about being late. Would everyone please stand for a moment of silence? A very dear friend of mine, also a relative of my sister, and also a retired fireman, Mr. Bernard McNeil, who lost his life to some medical issues he had. He lives in Delaware right now. The memorial will be tomorrow evening. So we just please recognize him. Thank you. Thank you, Madam President.
Are there any more points of personal privilege? I call on order from Ward 3.
Thank you, Madam President. So I would like to take a moment to thank everybody. We rock. I want to say that we rock. We all rock, and I appreciate the love and support that was given to me during my campaign for the election to still be called Alder. So with that, we are, all 30 of us will have a celebration at 2151 State Street, Hampton, Connecticut, at Lennon's at 6 p.m. next Thursday, which is November 13th. We're still playing around with the headlines, but I guess it's some part of what you're saying. That's it. Thank you, Madam President.
I call on order from Ward 22.
Thank you, Madam President. I would be remiss to not say happy birthday to my father, who turned 90 years old on Monday. That guy is something else. I don't have to take care of him, just like he said he don't have to take care of me. He is self-sufficient. He does everything, and I am just so thankful to God to giving me my dad, who has his mind for 90 years. And we celebrated him on Monday, and I'm trying not to get up more than once, but I had to say that. So thank you. Thank you. Howard Morrison.
The last thing before we go, I just want to thank everybody for participating in our trunk or treat. We had a wonderful time out there with all the children and everyone that came out and helped us give out all that candy. It was a lot of kids out there. But we did it, and we did it as a team. Our trunk did not win. Our trunk didn't even come close. But that's okay. That just means there was some really nice trunks. But next year, I'm already thinking about next year. We're gonna do much better, and we're gonna have a good time, and more people are gonna come out. There was a whole bunch of us, so thank you for that. So now, with that being okay, let me just finish this off. With that being said, thank you to everyone that came out. I call on order from Ward 2.
Thank you, Madam President. I totally forgot, sorry. November 15th, we will be doing the follow-up, the men's conference here in Mary at the Digital Committee House on November 15th, from 8 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. You want to sign up and participate, you must go on the Q House website, sign in so you can participate. And I'm going to be cooking breakfast, so if anyone wants to come out, come on down.
A motion to adjourn.
Thank you, my friend.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Can I please see order from Board 6 and 15 at the podium, please?
Hello, my beautiful